Hello and welcome. And let's speak a little bit about healing. Now, here I'm not talking about the apparent medical issues that seem to prevail as far as trauma and abuse are concerned. What I'm talking about is what is apparently um, deemed to be healing in this dream of duality. Now, healing is normally considered as like therapy or practices, normally therapy or practices or apparent spiritual paths seem to outline or give an apparent, you could say, practices or techniques to heal from trauma, of abuse, and apparently in the story I've tried several of them. So, but those practices or techniques or you could say pathways or spiritual, um, what you call you could say spiritual journeys, you could say, that seem to give a lot of path or give you a journey or give you steps to reach to a place where there is only bliss or happiness. They often seem to fail because there it is supposed that there is an apparent self, a position of a self. There is a self that somehow lives in the body, and that self has gone through a lot of abuse and it needs to heal. And this healing can be done through this practice or this technique or this journey, and somehow it is always useless. And if the trauma returns, it's not tried hard enough, and or it is the illusion, the self is the illusion, and somehow this self is an idiot or is wrong or is still inadequate or is simply an illusion which cannot see the illusion that the self is an illusion. So, and a lot of, or it cannot be remain at, or it does not remain in the present moment, or it somehow the self is the issue, the problem, and it needs to get either rid of, or it needs to surrender, or it needs to be pacified, or it needs to recognize or die or achieve something, because there in this dream of duality an apparent or play of opposites seem to appear, and that apparent opposites, there is bondage and there is liberation. Now this he apparent self in the story, all this is in a story of the dream of duality. So in the story, this self has been hurt, it needs to be somehow healed. And this healing can either be done by these practices, or if it is not done by practices or techniques, then it needs to get rid of itself. It needs to achieve this state of anand or bliss, or or recognize that it is an illusion. So once it recognizes, then everything will be fine. Now, this is a very small view of healing. Healing cannot be bound in that, because life apparently is boundless. Formlessness is boundless. And this formlessness is so vast, is so infinite. If you can't even say it's vast and infinite, because it simply is. Vastness and infinite are simply words that are given to it. So it this formlessness can also appears as it this illusion, because it alone appears as everything. So it also appears as this illusion of self. So how can the self be healed or got rid of? Apparent healing is where the formlessness alone is appearing as all form. There is an apparent aha or yes for no one. And that is true healing. To embrace every tear, to even see that the illusion apparently for no one sees it, but to see that even the illusion or the tears or the sadness or the fears is also the formlessness appearing as that. Neither is someone doing that, nor, so it's not just that, um I don't know how to explain this, but it's not that someone is doing that tears, someone is doing, is fearful, someone is crying. So it's just that it's apparently happening. And its formlessness alone appearing as those tears, appearing as that fears, as that feeling of irritation, of aggressiveness, or of simply being too sensitive. And that sensitivity is also an apparent strength, because that apparently can become a doorway. Of course, there's no doorway, this is all a story, but that sensitivity is also that, and this formlessness is embracing that and appearing as that. So it is also appearing as the healing that is apparently being given. So the self has not to get rid of itself to be healed. The self does not have to follow practices to be healed. The self does not have to follow techniques. The self is not spiritually far away. If emptiness is everything, then how can someone be far or someone be near from healing? Then healing alone is everything. Then this immediacy, apparently, and it's not seen by someone because there is no separation from formlessness. So there is not that someone is seeing that all there is formlessness and it alone is appearing as illusion, so there is nothing to be done. There is no one doing that, there's no one seeing that. It's simply the illusion, this apparent embrace, the illusion, the appearance of the form. It is the appearance of the form, the illusion that there is separation. I won't even say the illusion, no. It's the it's formlessness. It is appearing as form, it's appearing as those tears, as that sensitivity, as that fears, as an apparent illusion, owning that I am fearful, I am scared, I am tired, I'm exhausted, I'm angry, and apparently embracing it also, healing it also, seeing it also, feeling it as also. So this cannot be this healing that apparently that is, this healing cannot be spoken of. This compassion, this boundlessness, this freedom, this unconditional freedom to appear as anything and everything and yet be apparently untouched is apparently healing. This immediacy, this isness is apparently healing. Even to say that is too much. Thank you.